Could mean, teaching. Could be also nutrition. For somebody else, it means something, it could be nature, that type of thing. So when you start to look at how you're interpreting or decoding the information that is coming in, okay, from your environment, okay, because it's constantly, I can tell you this, we're being bombarded by information, especially if you're sitting in front of a TV, or you're listening to music, even within the environment. You can't even look at your cell phone without, when you're getting your Wi-Fi, without being bombarded with the actual Wi-Fi signal. Now, even they've got these HD antennas now that you can actually pick up free signals. So there's constant signals being pushed out into the environment, such as TV signals, radio signals, waves, that type of thing. So your body is actually interpreting these signals, and sometimes, if you're very sensitive, because I can tell you this, everybody has a sensitivity to the environment, and it's all dependent on how you're coping with it. So if you're more of an empath, you're almost like a little sponge, so you're absorbing information, okay, energetic information from somebody, from a handshake, from a hug, even when somebody talks to you. You can even just be sitting nice and still, and you're picking up the information from some of your coworkers that are actually in the next cubicle or in the next room. So when you start to interpret that information, that is basically what a reading is. So your interpretation of the environment. So the environment is always giving you signals. The best place to clear the signal, okay? So basically you want to start to look at, we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff in later videos as well, but I'm just going to give you some overviews here. Energetic maintenance, which is basically starting to clear all of the, I guess, the overload, okay? Because this antenna, so think of yourself like a tube, okay? So you're almost like a cup, all right? And depending on what you're picking up energetically, okay, this can actually start to get filled up or overflowed, okay? And sometimes people are interpreting that as anxiety. Picking up that information is because it's residual energy within the actual environment, or it's residual energy or thought form energy, okay? Because there's other ways that you're interpreting frequencies, which is the thought form frequency, which is within the aura. So you're picking up that actual thought form, and then you get into the soul contracts, and then you start going up the ladder, and you're starting to get information from the higher self, and that type of thing, and that gets more into an adept lesson. So what today we're going to focus on is the actual meditative practice. Okay, so meditation, I've said this before, is not to sit there in an Om position. Okay, chanting Om and having a CD going, the incense, crystals all around your table, all around you, on you, that type of thing. That's not what meditation is about. Okay, the mind is always trying to make you do something, or you need to get, okay? You need to get this in order to do this, okay? This is your natural state. The meditative state, okay, is the state when you came in as a child, okay? So when you came in with nothing. Remember that, okay? You came in with nothing. From now until you exit is just content. You're going to leave with nothing. So you're not taking your crystals with you. You're not taking all these, pendulums and cards and all that jazz. All that stuff, those things are training aids, okay? I remember going over to a buddy's house, and he had, and his corner was all set up, and it was just filled with crystals, large crystals. I can tell you, lots of money for big crystals. Just crystals, crystals. He had all these different types of Buddha statues and all that jazz. There's a lot of energy coming off that corner. The problem is that crystals will actually hold the positive and negative frequency. So you can have attachments within crystals and that type of thing. So if you're not clearing your crystals, so you may be getting distorted information, the best practice to take is actually with nothing. No music, no music, no technique, okay? Now, I'm going to show you some different types of techniques that you can use that'll help you on your journey, which is just basically a step, okay? So these are stepping stones, or before you start to do your readings, make sure that you're not, hungover, drunk, high on something when you're doing any types of, because then you're going to pull into that vibe or that frequency. So if you're using cards are great for people that feel more I guess, in a state of wanting to have that crutch or that training wheel. The pendulum, the same thing. When you're using crystals can amp up the frequency for you, Make sure that the frequency within the environment, even holding a specific crystal. A lot of people use amethyst, clear quartz, so they'll have it on their body, they'll put it on their third eye, that type of thing. Some people like to lay down when they're doing readings because they're more in a relaxed state, a meditative state. Some people want to sit, some people want to stand because the energy flows, right? Remember I was talking about that 7.83 hertz flowing from the top down, so the energy is moving properly, right? Some people have their eyes open, some people have their eyes closed. I've come across some students that have to make sure that they're looking in a gaze or a haze to the left side of the person, and then they start to see some imagery start to pop up, or that's where the third eye starts to give them the information. So those are some of the tools that you can use. Now, when you're interpreting the information, you're basically starting to give the actual reading based on what it feels like to you. Okay, so you really don't want to be asking questions like personal questions and that type of thing. You just want to give what you receive, and just trust or doing the lower aspects, because your energetic potential or the signal that you're pinging out just doesn't gravitate towards that anymore, and that's where you get into the law of attraction and so on. So like attracts like and that type of thing. So you're going to be, if you're exercising more, you're going to start to be more gravitating towards people that are like minds, or in the like types of activities, right? So some of the activities that you want to start to, I guess, slowly integrate into your experience. You're going outside into nature, going for walks, going for hikes. Being in that space that'll organically help and assist you. That's the organic space, and you can actually supplement some of the energetic potentials by using different types of supplements that are out there on the market today. There's a lot of great websites.